like all the the air traffic control guys and fighter pilots, and thinking they saw a UFO when they really didn't.
So why would they fake this then?
I think it's part of their plan to make us. I think it's the false flag operation.
It's a false flag operation. To what end?
So they want us to think that aliens are invading, so that we give up all our freedoms. We give up more of our freedoms.
Well, wouldn't it be easier to just say the terrorists are coming? I mean, listen, if we could prove more definitively that aliens exist, that would make a good false flag operation to that end. But wouldn't you just be easier seeing that we've all seen sci-fi movies and kind of think it's dumb? That we just say they're terrorists or whatever.
It's the terrorists.
Terries.
I don't think we're as afraid of terrorists as we are of aliens.
Yeah,
it seems like the terrorists only care about like attacking America.
America.
But if it was aliens, we'd be able to get the whole world to
unite under our banner of anti-alien protection.
Yeah, and America, know more about aliens than anyone because we've had the most sightings here.
Oh yeah, and we've had the most number of movies about them, so we have a lot of reference material.
Yeah,
it's like, have you seen Alien? Aliens? Alien 3?
Yeah, we're experts on fake alien invasions.
We know. I mean, Battlefield Earth. Come on,
yeah.
Modern American classic.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, welcome to the Transmit Podcast. We're running light today. I'm your host Spike.
I'm Victor.
And today we're gonna do a little movie talk at the beginning because we saw some trailers that we kind of liked.
Oh yeah.
And so we just watched that Bloodshot trailer, the new Vin Diesel movie, and it looks like pretty generic as far as like an action movie goes.
So is that coming straight to DVD, straight to Netflix, or is it actually going to be released in theaters?
Now it looks like
it doesn't look like a theater release movie to me.
I know it looks like it has enough juice to be enough budget behind it to be a movie or like a big release. Here, hang on, I'm gonna IMDb this now.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like a.
And of course, the time that I'm on
feature release.
Yeah, of course, the time I'm on the podcast is when IMDb asked me, "Hey, do you want to set up an account?" And I'm like, "No."
You got to set up an account then.
Yeah, no, I don't actually. Oh, hey, that thing I was talking about on the internet. Does Joker exist in a Scorsese verse of films? Well, I guess it's not. Okay, this article isn't saying it's a ripoff of it though, because it has has De Niro from Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let me see here. I'm going to look up Bloodshot here.
I think I heard of that comic. I think it might be Valiant Comics.
Well, it's coming out next year.
I think I remember Bloodshot from the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is I'm looking for the okay, it doesn't say what its budget is, so I can't know for sure. But it's a Vin Diesel movie, and he's still pretty big, so I cannot believe that he's gonna be in like a straight to DVD movie quite yet. Wait till after the Fast and the Furious movies die out.
Yeah.
Then he'll probably he'll go the route of Nicolas Cage. He'll just start filming 8 movies a year.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. There's a theory that he doesn't know about investing or saving money.
That's why he's constantly working.
Yeah.
I think either he always needs to pay off the next addition to his house,
Yeah.
or he just really likes being in movies. I think it's one of those two.
Yeah.
Didn't
he buy like $1,000 or like $100,000 dinosaur skull, like a T-Rex skull?
I do not know about this.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage just straight up bought $1 million T-Rex skull. The price keeps going up every time. $2 million.
Every time someone tells the story, it's like, yeah, it was $1 billion. I don't know if we got the money. Maybe he just never had tax trouble like we thought.
Maybe he's just paying it off right now. He's still paying off this dinosaur skull with all the
his
movies.
Entire life. It was like a National Treasure scenario. He stole it, and then he came to an agreement with the Natural History Museum.
Yeah.
Look, this represents 3 years of archaeological work, totaling $5 billion. Wait, what? Yeah, it's a government grant. Don't worry about it. So you just have to pay that off.
I just want to let everyone know that Spike is eating a Kit Kat.
Yes, it's great. I broke me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. And look, if you get to eat into the mic when I'm trying to set up your audio, I get to eat into the mic when you're talking.
I'm holding off from eating my Kind bar. It's
very kind of you.
It's the salted caramel and dark chocolate almond.
Okay,
I think it's my favorite kind bar.
okay. Well, back to the Vin Diesel movie. That looks like like it's so generic looking that they actually just gave away the twist that they'd hide in most movies.
Yeah.
The part where he's just being used. This isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailer. He's just being reset. His memories are being altered so that he has unfinished business.
Yeah.
And normally that would be the whole plot. Is like he has to go find these criminals, kill them, and then he learns, oh no, that they just implanted those memories. But now it's like that's just in the trailer. So either there's going to be another twist, which will be lame, or it's just a straight up dumb action movie, which I'm cool with that one.
Yeah, it looks like they're making it seem like every hit that he has to do is personal.
Yeah, so
And
he's
so
really
then
motivated.
Then when he kills the people, they just reset him,
Yeah, they just shut him off, and they
and then has to assassinate a new set of high
high value targets.
value targets. Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks super dumb, and I hope it is. Listen, I want to watch it so we can talk about it.
Yeah, it looks like Vin Diesel plays Vin Diesel in this.
As Vin Diesel, playing Vin Diesel,
Yeah.
but with a different name. Hey, Sam Diesel.
Yeah, it looks like there's good special effects. There's nanotechnology.
Yeah, that's been in my head canon for a bunch of like stuff in my head for years. Like that's always a cool concept to me. Is you have little machines making you better.
Yeah, and it looks like they spent like $1 billion on like a average Joe killing machine guy.
Yeah, he doesn't look like anymore. I don't think he ever really did look like your average superhero or like action movie star like Stallone and like The Specialist where he's like ripped.
Yeah.
He looks like a football player. Like he was a football player in like high school.
Yeah.
So he's still got some muscle, but he's kind of doughy too. So he's just throwing his weight around.
Yeah, that's what Vin Diesel seems like, and I think he works. I think he attracts like a certain demographic to the theaters.
He really does. Like a kind of bro demographic. Like that quasi philosopher guy he was in the first Fast and Furious movie gave that's franchise legs it shouldn't have had.
Yeah, and it's like a really down to earth kind of philosophy, like everyday philosophy.
Well, it pissed me.
Family and friends are important.
Yeah,
family.
I don't got friends. I got family.
Yeah, you always.
I got lots of friends. He just growls into the microphone.
You always be loyal to your family. Yeah. They're number one.
Come home. Home is where the help is, where the family is. Did I mention I got family here? We're having a barbecue and we're going to say grace. Family.
It doesn't matter what the bad guys do, if the bad guys are good or if the good guys are bad. Family.
It just ends everything with family. and realistically, that's kind of turned into a shonen anime series because basically, like The Rock was their enemy for one movie, and now he's their friend.
Yeah.
And then Jason Statham was their enemy for another one, and now he's their friend too.
Oh yeah.
They just like the enemy from the last movie becomes their friend in the next one.
Oh, that's gonna be cool. If what's his name? What's that guy's name? The enemy in the Hobbs and Shaw.
Idris Elba. No,
Idris Elba.
He's dead. They killed him. So really, it'd be the blonde chick. Not Scarlett. Charlize Theron. She's either gonna die because they gave her no choice but to shoot her because she's a chick, or she'll become the next like friend.
You saw Hobbs and Shaw?
I did see Hobbs and Shaw. That was some incredible bromance. There were like 5 points in that movie where I was sure they were about to kiss.
Yeah. Jason Statham reminds me a lot of Travis.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he listen when you're going bald, you either gotta like just turn into like a tax accountant, or you need to start working out and go full like shaved head bald. You can't leave that brim of hair around the side. I mean, if you're Captain Picard, go for it.
Yeah.
But if you're
but he kept it short at least.
He kept it short. Yes, you can't do that thing where it's like shaggy. Then it looks ugh.
That was popular in the 70s to just leave it.
Yeah, there's a reason people don't look kindly on the 70s.
Imagine, keeping your rim of hair and then wearing a bell-bottom pants.
Oh god, and they had the ponytail too.
No, I think it looks worse if it's just like a bowl cut, kind of. Just that's on the top. It's just around the back of your head.
Hello, so I'm Fryer.
Like the Fryer haircut.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's pretty good.
So this new Vin Diesel movie looks like some good stuff.
It looks
right?
It looks like it's going to be entertaining. It doesn't look like it's going to carry any kind of depth.
But they spent $1 billion on this guy, like, to be the experiment.
Yeah, for the be their hitman.
They chose, family dude.
Right.
The hitman. He looks like he should be drinking. He looks like his preferred alcoholic beverage is like a tall boy, like a tall can.
Domestic, not imported.
Yeah, domestic, and maybe like
He's switching over to light.
a Pacifico.
Pacific.
Maybe he drinks Pacifico.
Well, there's a reason that he was like of course, like his drink in Fast and Furious is a Corona.
It's a Corona. That's what I was going to say.
Besides the fact that Corona probably paid a shitload of money for it, he looks like the kind of guy who'd be like, "Yeah, put a lemon in my Corona."
Or maybe like High Life. Maybe that's in his
Yeah.
earlier days when he was playing football in high school. He
yeah,
drank High Lives,
High
but he moved up to Corona.
Yeah, and I do like he does that thing like all like guys who are like buff dudes do in movies where he like strangles the beer by the neck, and like there's like no room between his hand and like the glass. It's like the bottle ends right where his enclosed fist ends, so he's drinking basically out of his fist. Like,
yeah, I do the thing where I only hold it with like the 3 fingers, my thumb and my 2 top fingers,
right,
and I hold the very top. I think that looks kind of effeminate the way I do it, though.
No, but that means
I can't imagine Vin Diesel doing it that way.
No, he gets a fistful of beer.
Yeah.
Again, at the top.
And my pinky sticks out a little bit when I drink.
Of course it fucking does.
And sometimes I do the 2-finger thing at the bottom, too.
Oh, yeah, that's a little better.
Yeah.
Really, you can't just, like, I just leave mine on the table until it's time to take a drink.
Yeah, I don't use all my fingers when I hold cups.
Yeah, I know. I've switched over to hard liquor mostly.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper and also less carbs. But yeah, so I just, I like to grab it by the top and hold it and have a really big ice cube in there.
Yeah.
Like half a shot around, like it's mostly ice cube. And I just keep putting whiskey on top of it.
Ice cube.
Yeah.
That's a wrapper.
Yes. And you see that shirt? There's ice cubes inside of iced tea being poured by Vanilla Ice.
It's a good
Amazon that now. It's good shit.
Yeah, it's a good shirt.
Let's see. We also saw. I think this will come out with enough time to be out of the spoiler or like the statute of limitations for spoilers. We saw Joker.
Yoker.
We're not in Mexico. We're American.
It's pronounced Yoker.
Okay.
That's how it's pronounced in the Mexican version. It's not Joker. It's Yoker.
I think it really loses something. It's like, you want to see Joker?
Yoker.
Like
egg yolks?
No,
also, that part of your shirt on the very top is called the yoke.
Wait,
on the back top.
Oh, is it the tag part?
No, it's that part where it's like there's a stitching across the back.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's kind of like, it's shaped like the Star Trek uniform.
Oh, yeah.
So the very top of the Star Trek uniform, that's the yoke. It's called a yoke.
I didn't know that. And
yeah, the colored part of it.
And that's what you can expect on the Transmit podcast, is to learn something completely superfluous every day.
Yeah, but Joker in America
is Joker, and I still.
So how did the Joker experience start for all of us? I think it started with bad media coverage.
Oh yeah,
negative. I should say negative media coverage.
For this, I'd call it bad myself, because realistically, this is why I don't trust the media. Because I can't count on them to be honest about a comic book clown movie.
Yeah.
And they're basically I saw they had one video where they had a film professor come on and not really say much of anything. Mm-hmm. She just said, "You have this movie that's gonna incite violence," and she ended it with "I'm sorry, but no," which is not what you really expect, word wise from a scholarly person. Mm-hmm. Which is "I'm sorry, but no." It's like, how about, I don't know, did you see the movie? It's like, I don't think she did, because she didn't say how it was gonna make people violent or get the incels riled up. Mm-hmm. But that seemed to be one of the big things. Is it's about incels, or it's about white men losing their status. Mm-hmm. Or violence. It's going to incite violence.
Yeah. And that's how the Joker experience started for me.
For everyone.
For everyone.
Well, I heard about it first, but when we really started to really think about it,
yeah,
that's everyone saw way back, the short where Joaquin Phoenix was walking away from the subway with the they saw that clip.
Okay, so it kind of started with cool trailers, and everyone was excited about it.
And then the baggage came.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's like, Joaquin Phoenix is white, right? It's like, yeah, okay, this is going to be about white men. Well, it's about a white guy, I guess. There you go.
Yeah, a white guy. But yeah, it's unfortunate that all that came out,
because it was such a good movie.
It ended up being a really good movie.
I really enjoyed that movie. Joaquin Phoenix knocked it out of the park. I think
so. Yeah.
He really made that his own character. When I think they can't because I'm not an actor, obviously, but what's this take going to be? You have had the gangster, mm-hmm. the anarchist. like the supervillain in the comic book or the in the cartoon, the Batman the Animated Series, I think is one of the definitive ones. Whatever the hell Jared Leto's was one, and now you have this one, which is basically a trauma victim.
Yeah, this Joker. And it's a good origin story because I don't think bad guys always start off bad.
Well, yeah, I
Like
think,
it's your environment that makes you who you are.
and I think that's one of the old adage really applies. This is the greatest villains are the heroes of their own story, and he is like towards the end. That's how he becomes the hero of his own story. Like when he starts killing people, and just leans into it.
Yeah, he was never about trying to make the world a better. He wanted to put a smile on people's faces.
Yeah, that was from the beginning. Like that's the thing. I was told that it's a ripoff of a Taxi Driver, and I think it's a similar movie in certain ways. But his character development compared to Robert De Niro's in Taxi Driver is way different. Because like in Taxi Driver, like he starts the movie like just talking down to society, talking about how a Rio Rain's gonna come and wash the filth off the streets.
Yeah.
Like he rejects society, and in the Joker. What's his Arthur? I think his name is.
Yeah, Arthur Fleck.
He's constantly trying to gain acceptance from society, trying to work his way in. He's trying to be a performance artist. He wants to be a comedian. He constantly reaches out to people, and every aspect of society either fails or rejects him.
Yeah, it's because it might be part of it is just like he's just an awkward person. He's kind of like maybe slight autism. I don't know.
Yeah,
but he's got that laughing disorder.
He's got a laughing disorder that alienates him just from the general populace.
Yeah.
And the government, he's got some psychosis because he's like having delusions. And the government like fails him by like cutting his program, so he goes off his meds and he loses his therapy. The talk show host he idolizes and fantasizes about being like a father figure. It just wants to make fun of him.
Yeah.
And finally, like it takes like him learning that his mom was adopted and Bruce Wayne's father, what's his name?
Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne punches him in the face because he starts laughing.
Yeah.
And it's not his father. And he was just the victim of horrible abuse all throughout his childhood that he just kind of pushed out of his mind.
Yeah. And so, like, you can just equate that to, like, any bad things that happen. Is it really, like, the person's choice to do it, though? Like, is it...
Well, I think you always have a choice, but, your environment can't help in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. So, like, victims of trauma will recreate the trauma a lot of times.
Yeah.
And you compare that to like Robert De Niro's character in Taxi, nothing really bad happens to him. Like he sees a lot of bad stuff, but he's never beaten down by society. Like his status as a veteran in the Marines gets him a job, a good paying job. That woman at the political campaign actually wants to date him.
Yeah.
And he only through his choices does he lose like his date because he takes her to a dirty movie. Which back in the day meant going to a theater to see people have sex on camera or on screen.
Yeah, totally. Those were the days.
That was great, really good times. You sit there and there's a guy in a trench coat. His trench coat's moving up and down at his crotch for some reason.
So I was wondering. I guess we don't have those anymore because people would just buy porn.
Yeah, he's like, well, I have it on my phone.
Yeah. So there's no need to go to the theater anymore and be with other
dudes. Yeah,
dudes like yourself.
You don't need some Mike and Ikes to go with your porn.
Yeah.
That was really kind of funny because it was like a theater experience. He's like, okay, I'll take some Milk Duds. I like a soda, please. And do you have any M&Ms? Like, yeah, what cheese? What we got? And then he takes that into the Jerk movie.
Yeah.
That was
Joker. Even though it was set in kind of like a gritty 70s kind of New York, Chicago type place, it was different. I think it was a different feel than that.
Yeah, it was way because society
the character was different.
Society is way more aggressive, especially seeing that they're actively beating the Joker.
He gets jumped a couple times.
Yep. People do not like clowns,
and I don't feel like it's like a oh woe is me type thing where it's like we got to look at the victims of society and stuff like that. I feel like for me it was just an explanation, and there wasn't necessarily like a hero in this. Like
absolutely not.
Like, it was just a character study. It was just saying, hey, look at this person. This is an explanation on an excuse for his behavior. And this is how the Joker became the Joker.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's a character study. And it's a really good one, too. Like, What was it like? I was talking the other night. I really liked American Sniper with Bradley Cooper. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good movie. People still say that's a pro-war movie when it's just again it was just a character study about this guy. He just
Yeah.
happens to be in a war.
Yeah, and that's what kind of sells. Like, movies have guns in them.
Yeah.
And Hollywood's always liked having guns.
Yeah, but I don't think that would that's not a widely like talked about thing about it being any kind of pro or anti-gun message. That the gun is just something he uses, because he also uses scissors to like stab a dude to death.
Yeah, that's when he's going off the deep end and he's becoming violent.
Well, that was another thing that failed him was his so-called friends, the guy who gave him the gun that got him fired.
Yeah.
Because he was carrying it at Children's Hospital.
Yeah, slipped up because he's kind of a...
Well, I understand why he was carrying it because that was after he got beaten in the street by those kids,
Yeah, and he's kind of like a gumpy...
Yeah, he's awkward and weird,
dude, yeah.
gangly-looking dude.
Yeah, he doesn't have full control of his body, it appears, except for maybe when he's dancing, it soothes him a little bit.
Yeah, he really loves to dance, and that's like, and then he's dancing with the gun, and and after he murders those Wall Street guys, like that's when you realize, oh, he's associating this with something good. That's when you realize, oh, this is his full descent into madness.
Yeah, I think he was dancing to like calm his nerves a little bit.
Yeah, that too, probably.
He started dancing after he killed the Wall Street guys to kind of like, and then it became weird. It became like a weird thing, but I feel like wasn't really surprising because at that point we'd have gotten to know this character enough to where stuff like that wasn't as surprising.
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, he sees the world differently. At this point, he's like different from all of us.
Oh yeah,
like, he sees the world differently.
Very, very much so. And I think like shortly thereafter you find out like this wasn't really a twist to me. I knew like his love interest, which was the chick who played Domino in the Deadpool 2, is he just dreamt up the whole relationship. It was like straight up a Tyler Durden situation.
Was it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because they showed, and they even went so far as to show the scenes again, where she's just not there.
Okay.
And so that wasn't a big twist to me because I knew either she was being mean or she was a delusion.
We're gonna give away the ending now, but I think the days leading up to the show that he was gonna be on, we saw him practicing, like
killing himself.
Yeah, killing himself, and I think he wanted to make send a message to people or make a point about something.
Well, that was kind of the thing. Like remember what he finally says is like, "I'm now seeing my life as a comedy." So that may have been the punchline to the joke that was his life.
Yeah,
was him just shooting himself on a comedy show.
Yeah, and like that's a weird. It does get deep into like the beliefs of people like that. It's almost kind of too close for comfort. The study of people who, don't, maybe suicidal people.
Yeah, well, it's easy to
have like a very strong. They don't like their lives, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And it's easy to make them like people who do violence or kill themselves to just make them either a victim or just a monster.
Yeah.
But that's what makes like people uncomfortable with these sorts of things. I think is that making them a human makes them way too relatable. Like this could be anyone who does this.
Yeah, and then it's saying like, oh, we're humanizing him, but I'm
a human.
I'm a human, but I don't act that way. But what if someone else who's kind of on the verge sees the movie and then they're like, it pushes them over the edge when they see this?
And that's the weird thing is you can't live your life by what I think the lawyers call it eggshell skulls, where if somebody says someone needs to do something about the homeless population, and that's not an active call to violence. So if some crazy person says yes, someone must, and then starts killing bums, that's what we call an eggshell skull person. It's like you can't like be held accountable for someone going nuts and doing something stupid based on something you didn't actually say.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not sure if the world is ready to understand the psyche of this type of person yet. This is a very specific type of person in our society that they're showing, and I think a majority of people, maybe the critics, aren't really comfortable with.
Yeah, they are a very woke and very specific crowd of people, especially like people in Rotten Tomatoes. You'll see there's a very specific like with the Sticks and Stones, Dave Chappelle's comedy special. They did not like that, but everyone else loved it.
Yeah.
And you'll see like if a movie's about I think we talked about this before, is about has the right like protagonist, talks about the right things, immediately gets a much better score.
But Do you know what this got on Rotten Tomatoes? What did the critics think of this?
This one, I think it was good enough that it's fresh. It's like 68 by the critics, but it's like 80 something by the audience.
Hmm.
So Joker, yeah, it's 69 by the critics, by the top critics, and 89 by the audience. Because I think it was good enough. Because you can tell it was a well-crafted film. Like just from a technical perspective, like how he was shot, like the music they used, and a lot of these choices, it was a very good, a well-made movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just they had to be able to. Hang on, rewind. I think the critics had to say it's at least a 69. It's not certified fresh, but it's good enough that they couldn't say it's just bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. While I'm on IMDb, it looks like Maleficent is not. Actually, it's got a 41% from the critics and 95 by the audience. Like that is a huge swing. I always like that when I see a huge like a swing between audience and the critics. It's almost as weird as when they're almost like neck and neck.
Yeah.
Let me see. What else is there? The Current War, Lighthouse. Oh, Lighthouse has got a 91, but I'm betting an 82 by the audience. What the hell's up with that? If you've seen the Lighthouse trailer, that looks like a super art house film.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the guy who was the sparkly vampire and Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe. He is a great crazy dude.
So that's sparkly vampire guy. Who's that again? He was Edward.
Edward Cullen, yeah.
Edward Cullen in Twilight.
He's Twilight.
And then
Boy.
Green Goblin. Right?
And Green Goblin, yeah.
Okay. Isn't he gonna be Batman? I heard he's gonna be Batman.
Oh, not the Green Goblin guy, but I think
Edward.
But Edward Cullen, yeah, he's gonna. Hey, listen, people thought like who was it? The last Batman? I'm totally spacing his name.
Kevin Smith's boy. What's his name?
God, what? This happens to me every time I need to think of a name. Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yeah. People thought he was going to be a horrible choice, but he was the best part of Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, I thought he did good.
My friend, I got a friend who said Gal Gadot was, but she wasn't in enough to be the best part of it. She was the most attractive part, and her action scenes were great. And I love the first half of Wonder Woman, but
I liked Wonder Woman. I thought it was a good film.
Overall it was a good film. Mm-hmm. But if the second half was as good as the first half, it would be a great film. Mm-hmm. But no, yeah, I think you got to give him a chance because you never know what kind of choices an actor's going to make. Like I heard that they were trying to make Nicolas Cage Superman for a minute.
Yeah,
that I did not understand.
Man, DC's all fucked.
Well,
up
this was like in the 90s, I think. This is old.
I know.
But DC has been.
But nowadays too, DC's. But there is images of Nicolas Cage as Superman.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
He's got like long hair and he's got like a glowing chest and everything. It looks pretty sick.
Yeah, it looks like the costume was great, but who knows what? But you've seen some Nicolas Cage. They range from awesome to insane.
Yeah, what would have this Nicolas Cage movie have been? I don't know.
Like Bad Lieutenant was phenomenal. Like Next was.
Apparently they were going to use. I read that somewhere they were going to use a giant mechanical spider at the end.
Oh yeah.
Lex Luthor was going to build a giant mechanical spider to fight Superman.
Yeah.
At the end, but then they ended up scrapping that whole thing and not making the movie. But they used the mechanical spider in Wild West. It was the same director.
Yeah, I think Kevin Smith told that story. Yeah. He's like, what the fuck? It's like, how in love with this idea are you? Can we just listen? Just drop it. Let it go, man.
It was a giant mechanical spider.
Fucking giant mechanical. I was like, I need to do this. It's like some people listen. It's like when James Cameron gets a bug up his ass and he has to make the Alien Smurfs the movie.
Yeah.
Except he delivers. When he has a passion project, he's gonna make you some money.
Yeah.
Like even Battle Angel Alita didn't do so well here. It made its money overseas really well. Like every Asian person I know was like, we have to support this movie.
It was a good movie though.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Like it was oddly true to the source material.
Uh-huh.
I mean, obviously it wasn't like a dead 100% on, but still, it was better than a lot of adaptations I've seen.
Yeah, Bellita is good.
And who doesn't love the idea of a chick who will just immediately love you if you buy her chocolate?
Yeah, and that was I I believe that is James Cameron kind of like testing out technology right there. Every movie he does, he wants to push technology forward.
Yeah, that's his big thing. Is like, no, I gotta use the latest in motion capture.
Yeah, he's trying to capture, and her face, even though there's that weird uncanny valley thing about it.
There's a bit of it, but I
It's-
was able to let that go because I just went into anime mode.
They were able to capture the micro expressions that the human face could do.
Well, yeah, I think because they
And that
used
character,
they
yeah.
used like the thing where they just used the same actress and put those dots on her face.
Yeah, and they just had like probably better, I don't know, just better technology now to like actually show it. And they
Yeah.
better 3D rendering and
Because
stuff.
we know we can do it with an ape now. With who's that? The guy who plays
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis. Yeah, we know we can get an ape to emote and Smeagol or
Yeah.
Golem.
Yeah,
So we just need to cross that bridge into people.
yeah. And so this new Avatar 2 coming out, man, that's gonna be crazy, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm hearing a little bit about it, but yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I hope it's not a dumb action movie. The other one was kind of shallow, quite honestly, but
Yeah.
it was still a fun. It looked beautiful,
Yeah.
and it was good enough to be like a big hit. You know, it had that mass market appeal.
Here is one thing. Now I'm gonna say one thing that kind of bothers me about CG.
Say your one thing.
I usually I like CG. I want to be a CG artist maybe one day. I want to do a CG scene one day.
Oh yeah.
I respect the art of CGI, computer generated
Images.
graphics. But in Avatar, one thing, it's just the one thing that took me out of it. Like you can say all the things like, well, it was blue aliens that
Yeah.
didn't take you out of it. It's if you watch Avatar, they have human anatomies almost.
Yeah.
Because they had to get the idea of the anatomy from the human body. So
Right.
these guys are elongated humans.
Pretty much.
Basically, they're like what 10 feet tall, maybe.
Yeah, they're stretchy people.
Yeah, and they've got long limbs, and they've got like slender, kind of muscular bodies.
Yep.
And so as they're walking around, you can see the skin moving a little bit when they move their hands. Like our skin moves when we move our our muscles.
You can
and
see
our
the
hands.
stuff under it doing stuff.
Yeah, and they had a little bit of that. Their blue was too bright. I feel like a living organism wouldn't have such bright blue skin.
So it's not the fact that he could plug in and pilot a biological and a person.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Aside from the skin, when muscles contract, like
Yeah.
when your bicep muscle moves, it gets bigger. Even if you're just holding something, right? When
Yeah.
you pick something up off the ground, your bicep
It bulges up.
it'll bulge. And
Bow
then when
chicka bow wow.
and then when it's outstretched, your bicep looks, elongated.
Yeah.
And then when you curl, so when they were moving around and they were picking stuff up,
Yeah.
and holding it at their chest like he's holding a spear or something, the bicep didn't contract enough,
Motherfuckers.
didn't bulge up like it's supposed to.
So, okay. So listen.
It stayed like the way it would look like if it were down.
Did you
know?
notice this like the first time, or from an artist perspective, or did it take
It's
a few
something.
views?
It's something that a lot of video games and a lot of CG has not figured out how to do yet.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too. Yeah.
Because it's almost like a action figure. It's like it's like a puppet.
Yeah.
Right. And a puppet it's like an action figure. When you move an action figure's arms
They're
around,
just joints. It's not
they're
like
just
there's-
joints.
Yeah. I noticed that well that's why I was thinking about The Last of Us, the next installment.
Mm-hmm.
They had like that kiss in the first trailer, and that for the first time looked like two people kissing, and not like just two sets of polygons mashing together.
Yeah.
And that impressed me because
Okay, I got to check that out.
yeah, the first trailer for The Last of Us 2, they're at like some function, and her and the other chick they kiss, and it's super hot. And I don't know, is she underage still in that game? And then, long story short, it looks great, and that's the first
Yeah.
because they actually engaged the lips and didn't just have.
Yeah, so that's why I looked for that in Avatar. It's like, okay, so this is the next leap, all right? Let's see if they leap, bicep muscle movement, and they didn't.
They did not.
It took me out of it.
That's-
Like they couldn't fucking do the bicep thing.
Those motherfuckers.
I spent extra money for the 3D ticket
Experience.
on this.
Well, it was real immersive 3D
Yeah,
probably.
and I didn't see a bulging bicep. I hope they fix it in this next.
In this next
Avatar.
one, they'll full that's going to be in the tagline. It's like Avatar 2 now with bulging biceps.
Every muscle is actually created and moves. And what's the opposite of contract?
Expands.
Expands and contracts.
Yeah, you are tired, man. All right, listen. We have been going for 35 minutes. Oh my God. So listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say we're going to call it a show. So I'm your host, Spike.
I'm Victor.
And we want to thank you for tuning into the Transmit Podcast, a Super Awesome Showdown offshoot. We'll see you next time.